All right, what's up, guys? This is Joel Fernandez, and thank you so much for tuning in. The purpose of these videos is to document my journey through the Gateway experience and the different focus tapes. This will be episode 5, and it's going okay. This is the third day that I've done the Advanced Focus 10 tape and I'm enjoying it. I decided for today, I did it last night, and I recorded a video yesterday after doing it. I just got back from a run with my family. It's 9:39 a.m. And when I was doing it this morning, it was I felt good. I woke up at 7:30 in the morning, and that's a little late. I used to wake up at like 3:30 in the morning, sometimes later on 5 a.m. at the latest. But since I switched things up and I am working later in the day now, I'm getting a little bit more sleep. I used to go to sleep at like 9 p.m. to like 10 p.m. And that was like 10 p.m. at the latest. That way I could get plenty of sleep. But now I'm going to sleep at like 11:30. So my intention is to change that and move it back a little earlier so that I can wake up a little earlier as well and have more time to do things like record these videos and that kind of stuff because I felt rushed yesterday. And so I wanted to slow things down for today's video and also for my practice, for my meditation. That's what I decided. I decided that I wanted to really slow it down, and I did it while I was practicing my Focus 3 into the Focus 10, and really doing before those the Focus 3 and the Focus 10. After we do our energy conversion box and we put everything in there that is negative or it can be a distraction and we really don't need for the practice, then we go into our resonant energy breathing. And after that, I went into my resonant energy balloon, and the resonant energy breathing is pretty simple and it's pretty monotonous. I do it pretty much the same time, same way every time. I do notice sometimes that there's certain thoughts kind of crossing my mind. If like the day that I didn't do it at night, the next morning I had certain thoughts kind of crossing my mind that were just useless throughout that breathing, and the breathing helps to clear that stuff out. So that was good. And um, as I moved into my resonant energy balloon, after we gather enough energy and we harness all the energy that we can, the clean energy, right? So as we breathe in, we breathe in clean energy, and then we breathe out that kind of stagnant old energy. Um, then as I was able to gather as much energy as I could, I gathered it in my head, and then I allowed it to pour out of the top of my head. And as I was forming my balloon, I would usually, the way that I was doing it, kind of like on the previous video, and because this is my third time doing it, so the first two times I kind of did like just like 2 lines is what I visualized, and I was doing it really quick, just 2 lines, kind of just going down and then back into my feet. This time, however, I really allowed it to just pour out slowly and methodically and just allowed it to just cascade around my body in a nice, even fashion. And because I did that later on in the practice, as I allowed it to pour back into my feet, and then I allowed it to just kind of twist around my body and then go back into my feet. Later on in the practice, I was much more aware and I could feel the energy around me and in my little balloon that I had formed in my little circle. So that was really good. And then I went ahead and as I did my Focus 10, I saw, I did my Focus 10, right? So I relaxed my body completely. I went through every step of the focus. And as I finished on my arms and my shoulders, um, which is the 10th step of the Focus 10, I allowed them to relax and become limp and just fall asleep. As I was enjoying being in that Focus 10 of full body relaxation while being fully aware, I entered into a vision, and it was weird because of the contents of the vision, and it was quick too. It was just like this old kind of Impala silver, like long looking car, just pulling into a white gravel rocky driveway, and it was just this unknown person that was pulling into this driveway, and um, out came the husband and the wife, and this happened in a flash. It's almost like I received all the information, and they were having a quick conversation. It happened incredibly fast in a matter of seconds, and the conversation went a little bit like, "Hey, the guy that pulled in introduced himself." It seemed to be kind of like a post-apocalyptic environment, and the house was like this safe haven type of place that was just stationed there. And the husband kind of told the guy as they finished their little conversation of introductions, um, the guy that pulled into the driveway decided to start just leaving and going about his way, and the guy that the husband there was like, "Hey man, don't do it, don't go back. It's just a bunch of like dead, Walking Dead out there. You don't want to go back there." And the guy, just kind of didn't listen to him and just kind of left off and just left. And it turned out that that husband and wife that were there in my vision, I don't know what this means. I feel like it's a very deep subconscious thing. I really don't know. I'm just kind of sharing it with you guys. It turned out, I imagined, I was like, okay, well, I don't think this was necessarily true or false, but I imagined, I was like, okay, well, that guy left, and maybe it was a good thing that he left. Maybe it was a good thing that he went back on his own road, because maybe the husband and wife were actually monsters or evil, and maybe it was a good thing that he went on his way. He didn't kind of go in with them and maybe get, consumed or something. So um, that's the vision. And then after I kind of that happened in like a matter of like 2, 3, maybe 5 seconds, I kind of came back to as I was watching all of this from like I saw the car pull in and I saw them kind of come out of their house and I saw them have this conversation. Then I saw him kind of leave, and I was just like a bystander on the other side of the road, like as on the sidewalk, just watching everything. And and as I kind of the vision kind of just came back to my own, like how when you close your eyes you just see black. That's what I saw again, and then for whatever reason I had a voice in my head that just this kind of mantra that I keep repeating to myself is like, hey, we just have to be patient with other people, and we just have to love them, and we just have to, be present with them and allow them to heal their pain and to become better people and grow together, and just love and peace basically. And as I was having this kind of voice in my head, and my eyes were closed and I was seeing black, I just saw like these two balls, and I'm kind of recreating it here, but it was like, two light balls, and they were kind of like wrestling each other like this. It was kind of like a nice little interesting vision there. And then after that, I just wanted to capture the experience, and I wanted to be able to relay it to you guys. So I couldn't really focus on my practice. Because that was the first Focus 10, and then Bob Monroe talks to us through the tape, and he says, okay, come back to being fully awake. He counts down from 10 to 1, and as we hit the 1, we become fully awake, fully aware with our body and mind, and then we go back into Focus 10. And when I went back into Focus 10 after I did my practice and fully focused, as I was enjoying the Focus 10, I was trying to go back there or something like that, and I couldn't. I was like maybe trying to force it too much or something. I just kept seeing the same kind of vision, and I kept wanting to like remember it, So that was interesting, and I don't really know what this means. There's so many different ways to read into this. I really have no idea. Um, Whatever. But it was interesting. It was interesting the fact that I was able to like see something, really in my mind's eye. And then I loved the second part of it, kind of like where I had these like two different, kind of energy balls in my, you know, frontal vision. I saw it with my eyes closed, and I think that was a really good message as well. And it's true, it's a great reminder. And I wonder what kind of alternate reality that was that I kind of stepped into. I can't think of anything that I've watched recently that has quite the same scene, but it's just created from my subconscious mind somehow. I really have no idea. I'm doing a kind of like a job search right now, so it could be something maybe about my childhood, or it could be something maybe about the future, about my the jobs that I'm kind of looking at. So I really have no clue, but it doesn't really matter that much because I enjoyed the practice. I enjoyed being present in the moment, and I really enjoyed going through the repetition of doing it for the third time, and really slowing things down. I really enjoyed that and allowing that energy, resonant energy balloon, which I was able to feel through the entire practice. I enjoyed feeling that and getting the repetition in of that. And, I'm starting to kind of color it a little bit. I don't know exactly what color it is. Right now, it's kind of going back and forth. But I'm looking forward to using that. And I want to also I want to make a video in the future about some of like the anime that I've watched that talk about these kinds of like auras and things like that. And I want to make a video that kind of connects everything together and maybe explains it all. And then I want to make an introduction to like how we can harness these things as well. And I think that's not a bad idea. I think a lot of people might resonate with that. And maybe they'll start practicing the tapes. It's one of the reasons why I started practicing it. It's something that I think is very powerful, and it's scientifically proven how our heart creates energetic, really electromagnetism, and it can be felt up to 6 feet. And really, how you feel is how other people will feel around you. That's why we have these like spiritual gurus, and I felt them as well. Like when somebody walks in the room and they're just really peaceful and calm, and that kind of peace and calmness just kind of washes over you. And that's how it works. And I want to kind of talk about that because it goes both ways, you know. And then it's the full creative spectrum. So when you watch certain anime, you see that playing out in like certain battle scenes and stuff like that. But we don't have to fight each other. I think they can be very dramatic, very kind of like soap opera like with the anime, just to make it entertaining. But in reality, we really want to use it for good and for constructive purposes. That's the whole point of the meditation. So, yeah, I think that's pretty much it. That was my third day doing it. I feel pretty good. I want to do it for 10 days, I think. Um, 10 times the advanced focus 10. I think that would be a good goal to have. And then after that, maybe I can move on to the next step and see how it goes. I really want to kind of discover certain nuances here, and I think I'm progressing well and nicely as I'm going about my day, working and interacting with other people. I'm smiling at them, and people are smiling back, and they're kind of striking up conversations. I think that's a good positive thing to have instead of like I know I found myself before with like kind of like my head down and not wanting to make eye contact with people because I knew I wasn't in the right place to even have a good, positive, constructive conversation. Now, after doing this meditation, however, I feel really good. I feel like I can have these conversations. I feel like I can, their energy is not going to overtake mine because I've been practicing and really harnessing this good peace and calm. And so I highly suggest you guys do the same. This video has been kind of all encompassing. I haven't talked about like the frequencies, between like the delta, theta, uh, alpha, beta, and gamma frequencies like I have in some of the previous videos. But I'm not really qualified to do that either. I think if you really want to find out about that, you can go to the Monroe Institute's YouTube channel and you can check that out. That's where I learned about it. They had like a full hour talking about different case studies, and it's amazing. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. That's going to wrap up this video, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.